Hey, good morning, y'all. Anthony Mitchell here. Today we're going to go over chapter 14, the difference between business training sessions versus weekly opportunity meetings. It's kind of a big difference, so pay attention. Most people in network marketing get their start by attending a weekly opportunity meeting. Since this is how they came into business, they think that weekly opportunity meetings and getting people to them is what the business is all about. After they have invited so many to the meeting, they quit inviting. This is because they figure they have more than enough coming. What happens? On the night of the meeting, no one shows up. This can be very discouraging. A typical opportunity meeting will look something like this. A room is set up with chairs in theater style, either in a home or a hotel room. A blackboard or whiteboard is sitting on an easel up front. A person in a three-piece suit is giving a presentation about the company, the products, and of course the marketing plan. This in most cases lasts for approximately 1 to 1.5 hours. Out of the 22 people who showed up for the opportunity meeting, there will be 19 distributors and 3 new guests. Most of those who were invited as guests won't show up. The person putting on the meeting is talking to the guests. That means he or she is talking to only 3 of the 22 people there. For the distributor who has already been to the meeting several times and seen the same presentation over and over, this becomes very boring. One tends to get what we call meeting burnout. Understanding the meeting dynamics. During the presentation, you keep an eye on the guests and you notice positive nods when the speaker is talking about the company, the products, and the marketing plan. With all this positive body language, why do your guests sometimes turn down the opportunity when asked if they see themselves getting started? It doesn't make any sense that they could like everything they have seen and heard and still say no. The reason for the no is simple. They look at the person putting on the presentation as being successful. They think that for them to be successful, they will have to put on meetings, maybe not right away, but sometime they will have to put on meetings. This is something most people fear even more than the fear of dying. They fear getting up in front of a group of people and speaking. Now you can understand why they turned down the opportunity you have offered. By the way, this is an important point. They have said no to the opportunity, not to you personally. Do not let the no's discourage you. I prove this point while I'm doing seminars. I say since I'm limited for time, I only have time to call one person. With the people who would like to come up and talk about choose for the next anything they choose for the next 3 minutes, please raise your hand. Very few, less than 5%, raises their hand. You should see the look of release on their face of those who did when I tell them I was only kidding. Alright, so we're going to go into how you can avoid the fear of rejection. But first, if you're getting some value out of this, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share it. Let's continue. Now, how to avoid this fear. I know hundreds of people who can carry on a conversation with a friend over a cup of coffee. These same people freak out at even the thought of getting up in front of a group. Even the size of the group does not matter. Oh, wow, I read that wrong. Even the size of the group doesn't make any difference. Even some company presidents break out in a cold sweat when merely getting up in front of their board of directors or making a presentation to the stockholders. How would you like to avoid this fear when building your organization? How would you like to have exciting weekly opportunity meetings? You can, and once you understand how, your organization will grow many times faster. We meet with our prospects one-on-one or at sales sessions. We already covered sales sessions. We prefer to meet in a restaurant during an off time for the restaurant. We invite our guests to record the session on their smartphone, voice recorder, or whatever they have. Later, they can use the recording to review the presentation or as a tool to help them sponsor their friends. I always prefer that they have read this book, the 45-second presentation that will change your life, before I meet with them. This can save you a considerable amount of time if they already know how to drive before you meet with them. It's easier to help them select a vehicle. Refer back to chapter number 3 or chapter 4, NAV presentation number 3. The flow of the meeting. After some brief conversation about the benefits of network marketing, tell them you would like to give them a 20-minute presentation about your company, products, and marketing plan. Since you announced that it only takes about 20 minutes, it points out that anyone can learn to give a 20-minute presentation. Besides, until they learn it, all they have to do is play the recording for their friends. If it takes you an hour and a half to present your company, products, and marketing plan, you may become too selective about whom you are making appointments with. How many one-on-one half-hour appointments are you up to doing? When you get your presentation down to 20 minutes, you can be productive during a coffee break or make a couple of presentations during your lunch break. I break the 20-minute presentation down like this. 3 minutes to talk about the company, 7 minutes to talk about the products and give them some samples, then 10 minutes to explain the marketing plan. Breaking your total marketing plan into several parts, in most cases, you will not need to explain the latter parts to get your people started. Remember, they have made a commitment to go back to school for 5 to 10 hours a week to learn the business. During your first meeting, don't try to show them everything they will learn over the next 6 months. Key right there. Words matter. The two most important words in network marketing are sponsor and teach. The least important word is sell. Sell should always be replaced with the word share. The next 3 words of importance are expose, involve, and upgrade. First, you expose a person to your business. Then you get them involved for 5 to 10 hours per week over the next 6 months. Their knowledge and motivation as to where they want to go in the business will upgrade as they go along. They may come in thinking about making an additional $300, $500 per month, but after being involved for 6 months, their thinking will probably be upgraded to making several $1,000s a month basis. Whenever your prospects can't record your session, record it for them and give them the recording when you're finished. When you start your 20-minute presentation, ask them to write down any questions they may have and explain that you will answer them when you are finished. Point out that if you had to answer the questions during the presentation, you wouldn't be able to keep it to 20 minutes. The recording you give your new distributor gives you a valid reason for keeping your presentation moving forward without interruption every 2 minutes. It assures that the recording will be orderly. If you were to answer one question during your presentation, it would be like trying to let only one of several cats out of a bag. Once you start jumping around, you will lose the continuity of your presentation. Alright, now training sessions. If any of your prospects show any hesitation about being able to do the business, simply say to them, before you make your final decision, why don't you attend one of our weekly training sessions, whether it's in person or online, and see how we train our people. The purpose of the weekly training session is to teach your distributors how to sit down with a friend either in person or online and give a 20-minute presentation about your company, products, and marketing plan. The entire training session should not last more than 1 hour. Unlike an opportunity meeting, in a weekly training session, you are directing your conversation towards your distributors rather than towards the guests. Have you ever noticed how much more believable a conversation is when you are listening in on it, rather than having it directed to you? While you are teaching your distributors how to present your company, products, and marketing plan, your guests are getting trained also. The net result of this style of teaching is that you now have 19 distributors who are better prepared to share the opportunity, and 3 guests who get involved because they can visualize themselves doing the business. One person can be the trainer for the entire city or online sessions, so you never project the idea that a new sponsor would have to get up in front of a group to be successful. Regular meeting stress. It is very important to get your distributors together at least once a week. Remember NAP presentation number 8 on sizzle sessions? You need to keep your logs together to promote the proper energy, so your distributors will be more effective when talking to their friends. While face-to-face meetings should be your primary way to meet whenever possible, the internet now gives you other ways to connect to your distributors. even if they are halfway around the globe. Make full use of tools like Skype and various social media platforms like Facebook. A word of warning here, and be careful not to let digital tools be an excuse not to meet with your distributors where you can. Network marketing success depends on building relationships. Use your digital tools to build relationships, not to avoid them. For training sessions, it's not necessary to spend a lot of money on meeting facilities. There are many restaurants that have a back or side room you could use at no extra charge. Simply talk to the manager and explain to him or her that you have a group of people you would like to get together with on a weekly basis. You start your meetings at 8 p.m. and you will be gone by 9:30. You can invite your people to come early, 6:30, 7 o'clock, and to have dinner before the meeting. The owner won't need to put on extra help since orders can go in as they each arrive. The restaurant manager or owner will be happy with this arrangement, and so will the servers. Finally, be sure to encourage your people to tip well. This arrangement should not cost you anything above your meals and tips. The distributors who do not wish to eat should come about 7:45 p.m. We have found that with this type of social setting, it is very comfortable for your distributor to have a guest. You may even want to offer to buy your guest dinner or coffee. This makes your meals or coffees a deductible business expense. Once they have signed up, they pay their own way. It is okay to invite your guests to your training meetings, even if they have not yet seen your 20-minute presentation. They will see it as the instructor teaches the distributors how to present it. When making your invitations, emphasize that they are coming to a training session and not to an opportunity meeting. They will see the opportunity during the training. Alright, so now you know the difference. Give a real world example. When I sold life insurance, weekly training, PBRs, business, well, I don't even know what this one. Whatever, every Tuesday night and Thursday night they'd have you invite people to the office to come look at the presentation, the opportunity. And just like you said, the distributors and the couple guests, same thing. If there wasn't more than like 4 or 5 guests, well, you know, there's only 4 or 5. They'd pat the room with the distributors that invited them to make it look like there's more people there. It's a tactic that's been going on in most direct selling companies for a long time. They try to fill the rooms. But seriously, that's it. And then, like, the 20-minute presentation, most companies now, they got a video you send people or an online presentation they can overlook. And they can do it all over the phone. You send them a link. If they don't have time for that, you can send them a video. Hey, you don't even got to memorize a lot of stuff. You should personally know the information, but you don't have to memorize it. You can be, like, for the presentation you got to give, you're sitting there reading the slides while they're going through them too. And it's usually a video, so you're just sitting there reading, and they're reading also on their screen. It's a win-win. Use the tools that are provided to you to make your life easier. Stop trying to think you gotta do it all yourself. If you want to have weekly meetings where you train people, or weekly meetings where you show people the opportunity, hey, go for it. That still works. But the training sessions are more important. Get together with people and talk about how they can help or how you can help them grow their organizations. Again, subscribe to my video, like it, hit the little notification so you get notified when I make a new one. Let's get you on the path to owning your life. Y'all be great.